Hey guys, so I just wanted to do an update on some of the things in the garden. So right this minute we have shade cloth going up in the garden and everything like that coming very soon. So I just kind of want to tell you guys a little bit about what we're doing, and then hopefully when the sun's back up, because right now it's really late, I'll show you. Hey guys, so like I was saying, right now I can't quite show you too much because it is kind of dark outside. We are going to do more update videos as we progress. It's been really hectic and crazy. I have an event going on in town here near my work, so I've been really swamped with that, along with other wonderful things going on in my work life. So I've been dealing with a lot of those, but for now, as far as the garden talk goes, we have a bunch of different updates to share. I don't know if I've done a garden update as far as like what plants I have in my garden right now, but basically the laundry list of things involve strawberries, which I just did a bare root unboxing a couple videos back ago. Blackberry was in that video. We have some more strawberries in the garden right now, actually producing, which is kind of nice. Little snacks in the garden. Let's see, I have tomatoes, and I have squashes, a bunch of squashes, different kinds, and then a bunch of watermelons, and what else did I put in there? I think that was, I mean cucumbers, but they kind of are in the melon family. Oh, and beans. We have lots of beans kind of popping up. So those are the main things that I started early. Coming up, we're going to have like peppers and a bunch of other things. I might be redoing some plants because some of them got a little neglected, not gonna lie. I was a little not as prepared as I hoped. So a lot of that has to do just with like timing and weather and everything, and this is still really kind of new for me. So I've only been gardening here in my property that I live at for 2 years now, I want to say, officially. So yeah, so one of the biggest updates and changes with that is, like I said, shade cloth. So I did an update video and I did an installment video on my original shade cloth, which was burlap, and it did its job, but it didn't hold up by any means. I'm still pulling it off of my fence and I'm pulling it off of my roof. Ironically, I screwed it on, so I mean whatever got stuck up there is kind of what's there. So that I took down in a huff during winter time, literally just ripped down. So I have that. I'm going to be using it still, but in a different application. We're going to put actual shade cloth. I went on Home Depot's website because they carried the length I needed, and we got a whole roll of that, and we have 4 out of the 6 to 7 poles because we're not quite sure if we want the 7th one yet. But I'll show you guys that here in another section of the video. But we have 4 poles right now. Each pole is 4 feet apart, and they are originally 10-foot poles, and we have them 2 feet in the ground with concrete. So right now that's what we have going on, and I'll kind of run through the process of like how we put them up and everything like that later on in the video. But for right now, we have them just sitting in the ground right now, curing, I guess is what you would call it. Sorry, words are hard today. I've talked way too much today. So yeah, so later in the video you'll see where I explain that and everything like that. Hopefully I'll get some clips of how we actually do it, but the process is pretty simple and kind of lengthy, so we're still kind of on the fence of whether or not, maybe for the last hole. I'm not sure yet. So this is a first time project for me. I don't do a lot of how-tos and everything like that, so I know I'm referencing like things in another section of the video, but it's still new. So for me, it's kind of one of those, I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? So, alright, hopefully you guys have stayed tuned long enough to see the rest of the video. I know I've kind of rambled, I'm sorry, but let's move on and get to that part right now. Alright, we're going to start off this with the 2 poles that we have here. I had some concrete down here, but I already put that away. I'll show you in a minute. These are 2 of the last 3 poles that we need for the poles for the shade cloth project that we're doing. And these guys are treated as poles, and all of the poles are treated, so we got that going on right now. I'm just going to take a quick break so I can get this done. So we're going to start over here by the door like we normally do. We have the onions right here. Well, at least I have a onion right here. This guy right here. I have a sunflower right there that should be a chocolate cherry. I have sweet mint growing right here. We had a neighbor sweet mint, but that guy didn't make it. I don't know what happened. The raspberry plant is doing lovely. We're getting extra little leaves and whatnot. It is getting a little speckle sunburn, but I'm planning on trying to make some sort of shade kind of like wall in a sense right here, so that way when the sun comes down from that section, when it gets hotter, then it won't hit it as bad. We have regular just thyme right here, and then we have the carbon wine and rose thyme right here. So this little guy hiding under the dill is supposed to be a little bit different than this guy right here. And of course, like I said, we have the bouquet dill right here. And they mean bouquet because they give you this wonderful big bouquet right here. They start off with little yellow flowers and then end up with little pods. Butter, can you not right now? Get up. It's not a video without one crying. The rosemary that we had gotten last year is doing quite lovely actually. It's gotten a little bit bigger, so I'm kind of happy about that. My snapdragons here, this is an apple blossom snapdragons. Now it was hanging out way out here in the walk space, so I did just put a cage around it. This cage is actually upside down because I wanted the biggest section to be kind of like an anchor. But we do have another neighboring snapdragon. Now I don't remember what variety this particular one is, but it basically was doing what this guy does, where it just kind of flops over in whatever direction it so chooses, like that. So we have that. We have a Hungarian black pepper right here. There was a poblano plant in here, but it's gone. The artichoke is getting big. I did take one of the leaves off on the bottom, kind of like that one over there, but it was completely yellow, just because it wasn't looking so great anymore. The artichoke is kind of covering parts of the sage right there, not shade. The was supposed to be purple zinnias. Yeah, zinnias are actually still orange and yellow. We have oregano and marjoram in this section of the garden here. We have one petunia hiding right there and a basil plant next to it. These guys are different types of squash. Now I do not remember which kinds they are because I just started putting squash plants randomly because I realized, 1, I was running out of time. 2, I ran out of dirt for pots, so I was like, oh no. But we have some handfuls of other random little herbs over here. Now down here in this little lovely speck of the woods is a tiny nasturtium plant right here and right here. This is probably a weed. Yep, definitely a weed. And then we have this lovely tomato plant that's just been chilling and hiding under this petunia plant for quite some time. Actually, didn't know it was there. And this petunia is the one that does the best as far as flowers go in comparison to that one over there, and it has a contender down the way. We have a watermelon sitting there and a random squash sitting over there, I do believe, if I'm correctly. This bean actually overwintered, which was kind of weird. We have some cabbage here. This should be the Tuscan cabbage. This should be my Copenhagen's right here. I have some red ones tucked in there somewhere. Amongst the broccoli that's obviously noticeable, there should be some, what's the white one? Cauliflower. Yeah, sorry, words are hard. So we have here a tiny little German pink tomato hiding. Starting in this section here, we have sweetheart cherries and blue bubbles. The sweethearts, I do believe, are in the front, and the blue bubbles are in the back. This one is sweethearts and white currants. I do believe the sweethearts are in the front and a currant is in the back. I do believe, oh yes, no. So the sweethearts are right here, and then the currants are over there, and then these guys are my micro toms. That purple bell pepper back there that just wants to hang on, so we're gonna try to baby it back to life. Sorry for the wind, guys. It's a little breezy today. We have potato row, as I keep calling it. These guys are getting pretty big and lovely. Now I wish I had more dirt that I could kind of tuck in there to give them more room, but I don't, unfortunately. Onyx, that is enough. We have the collard greens right here next door to them. Like I've said before, these ones were actually see if they would grow, but I actually might harvest them before it gets too late. We have a basil randomly that's probably going to move at some point. We have in the back a random squash that's being hidden by all the calendula, and then we have the yarrow right next door to it. That one I think is a mixed yarrow, to be honest, but these are orange and red, or orange and yellow calendulas. Right here we have, what are you? Summer squash. So that's probably a summer squash back there. We have summer squashes mixed in with what's left of my lettuce for the season. We have back here 2 little tomatoes. I have no idea which varieties they are. They were just there and I don't remember putting them there. We have this pretty petunia right here. Like I said, it's contending for the flower abundance as that guy way over there. You guys see him. Oh, look, a happy little bee in the flowers. Okay, moving on. We have different varieties of strawberries. So these big strawberries right here are my white alpine strawberries for white souls. And these little tiny strawberries right here are a mix of Quinton, I think is what it's called, and something else. But I have more strawberries in the house that I'm going to be putting, and I think they're festival. I have a Duke blueberry, and the weird thing is that my Duke blueberry, the leaves are dry, completely crunchy, but the plant is still completely green, so I'm not sure what happened. It did get really hot one day, and I didn't have it like completely soaked, but I also repotted it, so it's like 1,000,001 reasons. The boysenberry plant has flowers. Look at that, guys. The last time I showed it didn't have nothing. It was just leaves. I'm so excited. I can't wait. So I'm hoping that this got pollinated. I don't remember if it's a self-pollinator or if it needs help, but I have that guy. A random potato that I had gotten angry at, actually, because it wouldn't go away or do anything, so I just shoved it over here. And now it's trying to grow, so I might get some teeny tiny potatoes off of it. My chocolate mint is actually not doing the greatest right now, and I might need to repot it, to be honest. But I definitely need to give it some kind of trim. Over here was try to rescue the squash, but failed. Right here is my Moon and Star watermelons. Now, I had one in the center, like you can see right here. This guy didn't quite fare so well. I'm actually gonna take him out. Yeet. Okay, so I had 2, and I was just trying to see like who was going to be the best option kind of scenario. So they all live here. This I do believe is a 10-gallon, and if not, it's a 15-gallon pot that I got. Oh no, it's a 10-gallon. It's all scratched up. So this one has to be my 10-gallon because my 15 gallons are brand new. Next door is a lemon squash, I do believe. Yes, lemon squash. I put one singular one in a 5-gallon pot just to see how well it does compared to in a crowded scenario. This was my tray that I got actually absolutely everything out of. And as you can see, I forgot some. They weren't actually germinated at the time. Let me see if I can't get this guy off of there. Kind of help him out a little bit. So I think these ones are more Moon and Stars. I think these are my living things. And these are other different squashes and cucumbers and everything like that, and tomatoes that did not germinate the first time around. So I've been watering this and keeping it watered every day, hoping that maybe some of them are still there. This first row was Malabar spinach. A couple did sprout. Onyx, that's enough. But they didn't last. I don't know what was wrong with this batch, but they're there. Stop. The rest of my tomatoes, now I did not do any labeling on these tomatoes because I have them written down in a book in the row that they were in, but now it kind of doesn't matter, so stop. So we're just gonna have to figure out what's what later, but these guys should also be lemon squash as well. So all the squash here, besides this guy's a Waltman, they should all be lemon squash there. The rest of my melons over here, they were also a quick put them in a pot, hope for the best scenario. They've been doing okay. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the 12 that did not make it fully, so we do have 6 left. My pretty chili peppers are coming back. We've gotten real long chili peppers. Well, hello little lizards, I see you over there. Now I know why there's been random eggs in my garden. Hi. Amongst this disaster is actually 2 very pretty lizards that are about 6 inches long. So back to the chili peppers. These guys overwintered beautifully. I did give them a little trim, just trimmed off anything that looked a lot like this and kind of cut back what didn't make sense. As the wind blows. Get out of my pot, man. This one down here is my honey nuts. I had 4. There's only 2 that remain. Why is there a basil in my pots? Get out. Okay, so my basil next door is trying to seed into absolutely everything, so I might have to collect some of those seeds from there. But over here we have some more basil. Down there should be some more honey nut and Waltman squash. This guy right here has been through some stuff, but we're getting there. And we're flowering, so we're a little happier now. And moving through some more sunshine, but we had a real bad aphid infestation, and we're getting it under control now, so. Oh, maybe not. Found the little buggers again. Excuse me, Wayne, I'm trying to do this. Thank you. Yeah, so this guy right here is just being attacked relentlessly. I have to come out and check for these every so often, but I've been using diatomaceous earth to try to be a little bit more gentler on everything, and it seems to be working wonders. I did use some pesticide, and it worked, but it wasn't exactly the exact results I was hoping for, and I didn't like the fact that I had to use it on my edibles, so yeah. Coming around to the other little fuzzy balls and the guy that's in trouble all the time that I keep yelling at. Beeped by a bug. Oh no, the aphids are back over here too. Worst feeling in the world, squishing bugs. Ugh. Not that I care that they're not dead, it's the fact that they're slimy. And it's gross. Feeling anyways. Alright, so we have our knockout rows right here. Excuse my hands, I've been moving concrete. Like I said, we have some, it's in that shed actually back there. I'm not about to open it with this blend. But we got lots and lots of new little buds here. Obviously we have lots and lots of new little aphids as well with those buds, so I'm going to have to do something about that as soon as this wind goes away, hopefully. But this guy's doing okay, so-so in a sense, because, well, not because of the aphids, but because of the heat. It kind of dried it out a little bit, so I'm going to have to hope some of that comes back. If you do see leaves with these little holes cut out of them, like these guys right here, those are cutter bees. Those little boogers, I cannot get rid of legally. They are guarded and protected because they are solitary little living creatures, and they will just kidnap your leaves little bits at a time in little groups, because they go on field trips apparently, and they will go make themselves some homes and little nurseries and whatnot. So they're cute, they're adorable, they're small, but they're a pain in my butt. So down here, I was mentioning that I have a vining flower that I will show you guys as soon as it pops up. And this little here is my cantabelles, I do believe they're what they're called. They're purpley flower. They are in a bell shape with a little tutu at the bottom of them looking thing. So I can't wait. It does look like I may or may not have one here. That could be basil. Like I said, basil's gone to everything. This lovely right here is my carrot. I do believe it is a black nebula carrot. It was the only one left in there other than, where is it? It's hiding over there. There's another carrot. I think that one's orange. Just a regular orange. But it was in here and I was waiting for it to get bigger so I could pull it and just eat it, but it started producing a flower. So help me with these people and the construction around here. Obsidian, don't you dare. Don't you do it. Yeah, you, mister. Yeah, thank you. So we're letting him go to seed, and then if I can harvest it afterwards, I just might. Hiding down there may or may not be some violas. We'll find out as soon as they get big enough. Right here is my jalapeno that I got with my chili pepper plants, which is the other one right back here. And this one I already got 2 off of here, and they are ginormous looking. Oh my goodness, look at those. I just got them everywhere so far. Here and there's more flowers. And, oh, those guys fell off, but supplies. But yeah, so we've got some flower loss because of the heat all of a sudden. We've got basil randomly down there. But for the majority of the reason, it came completely back and it has a ton of fruit on it, so I'm super excited. This little guy here, you can tell he's kind of yellow. I don't know if it's because I watered him too much, if the aphids got a hold of him too much, or what exactly happened. But this is the other one that gives me rose hips, and this one here is my Playboy. So we are just kind of letting it be. I may or may not have some spider mites if these flies don't stop. So we're just gonna like let the leaves kind of do its thing. A good majority of the plant is green and flowering, so we're gonna call that we're doing good but not quite happy. So we're just gonna hope for the best, and hopefully that shade that we're gonna give it will make it turn around, and then I'll figure out a watering schedule that better suits it. Get out of the garden space. I don't have to go over there. You too. Out. You already know better. Get out. Out. Come on. Don't paw at me. Come here. Out. You know better. This is a daily. Every 5 seconds I'm in here because they want me to pet them and I'm not, and they're all mad about it. So these guys are my other secondary potato row. We do have some Chinese long beans in here. They are going to vine up these lovely little hoops that I made out of they're H supports that you put for concrete, like for walls and stuff. So you lay like your freaking flies. You would lay like your layer of brick, and then you would put this on top of the mortar, and then you would put more mortar on top of that, and you put your next layer of brick. So that's basically what those are. They're super cheap for me because I got them free $99 because I have a wall redone. But you can get them at your local Home Depot or anywhere else like that, and they're a couple bucks. They're not the super best for sturdiness, but if you can't get kettle panels, just saying. We have some more over here. We have the green and red variety. The kale that was in here, it's still there. But it's just, that's all it is there. It's just really tiny and small and not worth anything. It didn't do so well this year. The broccoli that I have over here, the 2 that I had bloomed out, that one did first, and you can kind of see maybe buzzing around as a happy bee. But we have the broccoli here. Now I am getting more broccoli shoots, and as I so desire to have these little broccoli shoots as a snack, I've been leaving them so that way I can get more flowers to get more seed pods. Because I plan at some point in the winter to do a whole row of nothing but broccoli, and I need more seeds. This guy here is my eggplant. I think this one is supposed to be my 3-pound eggplant. I never got an eggplant off of it last year, and I'm really hoping that this year I get one. So I just want to try it. I'm not a fan of eggplant, which is why I have one plant. But I really just want to try the eggplant to see if maybe just the way it was cooked is what my problem was. And if not, I'm just going to go to the store and buy another eggplant. Alright. Down here we have a German pink tomatoes. There's one there and one right over here. These guys I put here hoping that, well, one, I can kind of use this little tomato vine thing that I'm just kind of using for this guy here, which that's actually pretty woody. And another is so that way maybe they'll have a little bit more shade, because I'm wondering if that's been my biggest problem. I just had a bee say hello. The jalapenos over here are starting to bloom, which is really lovely. So I'm going to get jalapenos off of my big jalapeno plants here soon. So I'm super excited for that. Down here we have Hubbard squash. So the really, really big blue Hubbard squashes. Or they're table Hubbard squashes, so I assume they're big. We have ground cherries. Now I've gotten a few ground cherries off of these plants. That one over there is not faring so well. Like I said, we hit like 95 degrees overnight, so it didn't do as amazing as I'd hoped, but we do have some pole beans over here, runner type beans. So we have them sitting I have them sitting next to my jalapeno poles right here, and I was kind of hoping I can intertwine them up as they go and just kind of make a little fun thing out of that. My Sugar Rush peach came back. Now I should have a poblano hiding amongst them somewhere. It might be that guy way over there, but it also might be the dead one, so we're not entirely sure. Or at least I'm not entirely sure. Yes, it says for the squash. Sorry to change subject abruptly. It says Table Queen Acorn Squash. That is what those squashes are. So any squash over here is a Table Queen Acorn Squash. Sorry, I got distracted. ADHD moment. For those who know, you know. Alright, we have some bush beans planted amongst here. We have some dragon tongue, which are probably those. We have some regular blue lake beans and a few other varieties. Now, my cats do dig in here, so I'm not entirely 100 aware what and why it is, because they like to move stuff. So I'm hoping that some of them are easily recognizable, and I'm going to have to start planting some more beans here soon. But we have plenty and plenty of basil that keeps just popping up out of nowhere. The basil that was over here, it's just been crazy seeded. I have every square inch that's over here has basil somewhere. At least one basil plant is somewhere. We have my Rio Sombra. That rose, I've gotten 3 or 4 flowers off so far. It's trying its best to come back. As you can tell, it's had some struggles. It could be because of my watering. It could be because of just where it is entirely. It could be because of aphids like to attack this poor little guy. You seem a little floopy. I just watered over here. Or maybe I didn't water enough. I'll water later. So we're just gonna see how that goes. I try to water at night more than I have during the day. Sorry if I keep going up and down. I saw some stuff that don't belong. But I'm gonna hopefully get a schedule where it works best soon. Speaking of beans, I do have some more beans kind of tucked over here. If you guys can tell, there is 100 little basils. I swear, there's like 100 over here. They're like tiny, some not tiny. This guy's a weed. This guy's a weed. But yeah, so I have lots and lots of basil. My Purple Prince Zeon has just exploded. Now, I was not aware how big this plant gets. Now, when they said 2 to some odd feet or whatever, I was like, yeah, right. It's gonna be small. All my plants are small. No, this guy, he loves where he is. So we hopefully maybe can get another one either this year or next year. Probably next year, because I don't think that they have them closer to summertime. And that's a horrible time to plant them anyways. I have one snapdragon. This little beauty here is red when it blooms, but all of these little pods right here, were already bloomed, and I got seeds from them already for some of them, so I have to come words work. I have to come back out here and collect the seed pods. I do not know where the seeds come from on this guy here. I have yet to figure out a seed situation, if this even gives any seeds at all. So I'm wondering if there's actually more than one plant here at some point. But for now, it's just one Xeon plant and a Snapdragon. Now, I had planted a marigold over here once upon a time last year. And by one marigold, I literally mean one survived. I had like 6, which is where this little huckleberry was planted, was last year. And they lived right here. And now I have over 20. Just right there. Just over 20 immediately right now. And then there's some right here. I had some petunias planted over here. Not petunias, pansies planted over here, but they never grew. But the marigolds did. I have some spinach here. Tucked under there is also spinach. The Xeon was originally a good foot away from the spinach when I planted the spinach, and then when the spinach started growing, it was 4 inches away from the spinach, and now you can't see the spinach. I actually have to push the plant back just to harvest, which is kind of nice because then it hides it from the heat, and then I still get spinach. But like I said, this is my huckleberry. I have little ladybugs all over my huckleberry. I had little ladybug babies all over my huckleberry because this thing was just crawling with aphids. Nothing I did touched it. So, good bugs to the rescue. I will let them live amongst the garden rent-free. And then over here is just another view of what I got going on here. So yeah. So, the piece de resistance, the entire purpose of showing you anything in this garden is these guys over here. Now, these guys over here are my poles for my shade cloth. We have 10-foot poles, and they are 2 feet down, making them 8 feet tall, making them line up to the top of the roof line right there where it comes down. So it's just kind of as even as possible. So we actually got the other poles to go here. My husband did come out here when we got home, and he measured 8 feet. This pole right here is actually perfect. We're gonna have to pull the fence back, clear some of this stuff out, and then dig the hole like we did over here. But we're going to do that for every pole. Now, I did have him mark where the other pole is gonna go, but we are gonna have to like remeasure and adjust accordingly because I'm not 100 if that is like the perfect spot or not. So we're gonna hope for the best on that one as soon as we get to it. I wanted to do it today, but I don't think the wind's gonna let me. So, but yeah, so we have these guys here. They're 4 feet apart. Like I said, they're 10 feet tall technically, but 8 feet out of the ground. We are going to attach them at some point to the actual fence here because the fence is falling, and for me to get a non-permanent permit kind of scenario, it needs to be attached to the falling fence to make it a non-permanent, to make this a permanent structure, and to make my shade cloth a non-permanent structure, because this is permitted in and this is not. So that's kind of how we're doing it. We already talked to the town. We already have that clearance. This is how we got away with that before we started. Now my husband broke the fence a little right here because he was trying to one-man a limb from this tree, and he didn't pull it enough or hard enough or something like that, and so it kind of dented the fence, which is kind of a purpose of why we're doing it that way, is fixing it to where it doesn't fall. So we're gonna have the shade going across. We're gonna have 2x8s up top. We're gonna have some shade cloth going across here. We're gonna brace along down here as well. So for those who'd be like, don't forget to brace, don't worry, we're getting there, we're getting there. So we're gonna have that going across. Now, he did talk to me at some point that we might have it like attached over here on the roof line, or maybe like over here on the actual structure itself, about a retracting feature where you can like turn a handle on a device and then it will roll the shade up. We haven't gotten to that part yet, for now we're just gonna staple it over there and call it a day. So, but going through here, this is a 24-foot stretch, which means that my garden is roughly 24 feet on this section. I think it's actually like 20-ish feet for the actual bed itself, but the walk space anyways. That pole right here is actually 24 feet, so it does go right to the edge of my bed, but we're gonna have it stop right here at the tree line. So we're gonna probably trim back some of these little branches, which shouldn't be too bad. It does need a little trim. Now we do have some branches over in this area that I may just let back down. Because I had pinned them back instead of trimming them. We do have a few other branches that I desperately want to trim because they hang down too low. But he just shoved it into the tree to get it out of my way at the moment. So that's pretty much it for that. The tree does provide a pretty decent amount of shade. Like you can see, it stretches way out there, and when the sun's just right, it covers that whole section. So this area is the coolest area in the entire garden, back here by the tree. And this section I had watermelons in, and I had squash in. The squash didn't do so great, so that's why I put them further out, but the watermelons did amazing because I had them in pots, and I have that other one in a pot. So I'm hopefully going to tuck it back along the fence area here. My ultimate goal is for them not to attach to the fence again, but hopefully maybe I can get like another kind of hoop set up to where they'll come up and go over on that. But my hoops aren't exactly the strongest when they're high, so I'm hoping that they'll suffice for his small section. But that's it for you guys right now. Thank you guys for watching. Here's another kind of different angle from the garden area, little pan view. So I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna have some lunch, we're gonna get those poles put away, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
Hey everybody, how's it going, and welcome back to the channel. Before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe, and smush the bell notification icon for future updates. It's a little breezy out here. So like I said in the intro, we're going to be installing a pole today. So here's one of the poles. So I have it marked out that the other pole needs to be right here where I put this stake. Bring you guys in closer. It's just a old piece of PVC piping that I found in the yard under the ground. Looked like somebody lined this yard with sprinkler system but never hooked it up. So this is 4 feet from that pole. I need the measuring tape and I'll show you guys. Measure this pole right here. Alright. So, measuring the center of this pole. So, center of this pole right here, all the way over 4 feet, or exactly in front of this. So, 12-inch circle needs to be dug out. And today is April 16th. It's a Saturday, 2022. I have a secondary 4-foot little guide put in right here with the PVC pipe to make sure that they are all 4 feet apart. And then there needs to be one more. This is an old measurement. It's probably the wrong location from what I can tell. So we'll adjust that later. What my wife is doing is, these are old mounts, leg mounts for a basketball court, a portable basketball court. So, like I did right here, we peeled the fence line back, and she is trying to undig the fence line, so that way we can pull the chain link back so we could dig, hopefully, the correct hole. We've had inconsistencies probably because of certain things. Get this weed out of the way.
Can you get it?
Alright, so fence is being pulled back. She's gonna probably stake that. Hammer's inside. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna bring you along for one of the poles, and my wife might record one of the poles for her channel as well. It just take too much time to record all of it at once. But these are 10-foot 4x4s, treated 4x4s, that need to be at 8 feet. So 2 feet in the ground, 8 feet matches the height of the roof. Roof line, we're going to be putting 2x8s on top, and I'm going to be mounting 2x8s on the sides as bracings all the way across. This section is 24 feet, so 6 poles at 4 feet apart should be 24 feet. It looks like it's not measuring that way because of the fact that I actually pushed this pole, the first pole, a little bit farther away from the roof line. So this pole sitting right here, the roof line is over here. So, which is no big deal. Just buy a 7th pole, put a 7th pole up. Not a big deal at all. But these are all installed. So we're gonna get this hole dug out. Some of these I have measured at different sizes. Digging this close to a fence line is not really easy. So this one right here is 18 by 18. That's what that one is. It took 6 bags of concrete because it was completely even all the way down. This one is a little bigger than that. It's about 20. 22, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 22 by 19. That one took 7 bags of concrete. This one, the hole was actually too small. The hole is actually like 14 by I think like 13, something like that. So the hole was too small. That's why the puddle on the outside is so large. And then this one right here is 18 by 17. And that one was actually pretty good. So the first hole and this 4th pole are pretty consistent, similar. So I'm gonna bring you guys back. We're gonna start the circle, and we'll bring you guys back when we got some progress for the hole. I'm not gonna record us digging an entire hole. But all my wife's doing right now is using these stakes to pull the fence chain link back.
Is there? Yep.
so we'll bring you guys back. Everybody, I brought you guys back for a second. So I took out, kind of just drew a circle. I took out the little post that I had sitting here. She's gonna hold the camera. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure from this center of this pole, and try to make this centered. So we know where the center of the circle is. See, so that measures right there. Okay. That's about right there. That means this is wrong. Sprinkler head.
Which means there's pipe right there.
See? All this random freaking sprinkler crap that was never used. I don't know why it was even laid here if they never hooked it up.
I don't know. We found this all over the front yard, backyard, everywhere. Nice travel, bro.
Do this again. A little off. Okay. So I'm just going to roughly draw a circle. big. What was the measurements last time?
Wasn't it like 18, 17 or something?
Yeah, that was too big.
Yeah.
So, spiders.
So I had done it at 15, and you said that we needed to go more, so maybe 15?
About 7. So, right there. We can always go a little wider. That looks kind of small though.
It does.
Alright, we'll bring you guys back when we get it figured out on what size we need the hole. I don't want the video to be too long. We're just prepping the hole right now. So now this pole, or this stake, is about even with that pole. Once the hole is dug and I put the 4x4 in the ground, we can even it up with the 4x4. This is just a guide, a reference guide, that's all it is. So I'll bring you guys back when we got the hole started, and we'll tell you what the final dimensions are afterwards. Welcome back, everybody. Alright, so we got the hole started. So started dumping some of the dirt in here. We need to grab the tape measure and I'll show you guys what the hole measures at for the moment, at least the outer diameter. Alright, so I'm gonna just sit you guys in the sand. Maybe not. Alright, so hole is outside diameter is about 7 to 8. It's about 18 by 14. So at the moment it's not really an exact science because we're sitting up against a fence, so it's not like I can use an auger or anything like that. So, and the circle I drew was a perfect circle, but you know, when I dug it out, it didn't end up that way. So 14 here, you know, 16 if you stunt the hole about right here. 15 be about 15. So we're gonna dig this out, try to get it as perfectly round as we can. You know, it's not gonna be perfect unless you're using equipment. It's never gonna be perfect. This hole's got a lot of plant material and stuff in it, but we need here in Arizona, because our dirt is like concrete, we have to put water in this hole and we have to soak this dirt to get it soft enough to be able to dig it, because it needs to soak down. So that's what I'm doing. We're just fill this hole with some water, let it soak for 20 minutes or whatever, and then we'll come start digging it again, and continue that process until we get to 2 feet. That's what we need, is 24 inches. There you go. Instead of my shadow being in the way, there you go. And it's getting breezy out here, so hopefully it doesn't blow all the dirt everywhere. And it's 3:50 in the afternoon. And I'll show you guys real quick while that's filling. This is that dirt that we keep removing. When we add water to it and scoop it out like mud, what happens is it turns into concrete. So you can see this. Watch, I'll show you guys. You gotta hit it really hard for it to break. So this stuff, here's a piece right here. This piece right here, you can hear how hard it is. So that's what we're dealing with, is it turns to concrete when it gets wet outside. See this right here? So when it rains here, it compacts more and more and more. So we have to put soil, we have to mix soil in the dirt, because when it rains, it gets compacted, turns to concrete, the dirt does. So in order to have plants and stuff survive in this dirt, we have to get rid of half the dirt, which is why this giant pile is sitting here. So this is about, I don't know, 15, 20 wheelbarrows worth. Like this stuff right here is soft. This right here is soft. There's these big bricks. So just figured I'd show you guys what our dirt is like. So it's, you know, some people think, oh, that's just easy. No, it's not easy to dig a hole in the soil in our yard. It's like concrete. I mean, if you wanted to, you could probably just wet the dirt and use the dirt to hold the poles up instead of using concrete. But so, just showing you guys. So she turned the water off. So we're gonna let this soak. And we'll bring you back when we got the hole a lot further. And hopefully by then I can tell you what the final measurements are. We're trying to get it a little smaller than this hole so we end up with 4 bags, not 6. So I'll bring you guys back in a little bit. It'll be a couple seconds for you guys.
There's a big ass black bee out here, be careful. I might hit you.
Stop cussing. Alright everybody, so this is the progress that's made since the hole was filled with water. It's been filled with water probably, I don't know, 8 times maybe. My wife's removing some of the dirt now. So this is how much dirt that she's removed so far, not we, because I haven't been doing it. I've been filling gaps and holes with the right stuff, I think is what it's called. Just expanding foam. But so we're working on the hull right now. It's been a couple hours. It's now 5:15. I think we started this at like 3.
Yeah.
So in order to do this, you have to give it time to. You're digging out, dear. You have to give it time to soak. So we'll bring you guys back when the hole is completely done and we're ready for the pole and the concrete and measuring the height and everything. So it's I don't know, about a foot deep, maybe about 8 inches or so right now. Hey everybody, we're back. So today is the next day. It is actually Easter Sunday, April 17th. So we did get the hole done yesterday, but it got dark and I didn't want to put the pole in while it was getting dark because it's been like 40, 50 degrees here. At night, I don't want the concrete to have to take longer to dry. So this hole is at 2 feet. For the bottom, it's at 24 inches. The 24 line lines up with this metal rod I have laying here, which is just a trim piece from a piece of glass. So that's done. So I'm gonna put you guys on the tripod, and I'm just gonna let the camera record, because I'm gonna put the pole in. We're gonna measure it from, you know, the sides and everything. We're gonna measure it so that way make sure it's 4 feet from the center of this pole. Gonna measure it to make sure that it's centered from pole to pole on the inside. Sticking out way too far. Do you not notice the fence is the problem?
Yes, and there's the fence. A little better.
It's too far. So what I'm doing is measuring the front face of this pole, the center, to the front face of this pole, the center, so I know where the 4 feet needs to be. And then I will do the inside of this face to the inside of that face. Okay. Right there. So what I just did is to measure this pole on the inside to this pole on the inside to make sure that it's straight across. So all I did was that. I just measured it straight across to make sure that they were in line with each other. And this one is in line with that one. So the pole is set in the position it needs to be in. So now, what I'm gonna do I'm gonna put this Empire post level on it. I'm moving the thing, you let it go. have to let go, dear. Hold it in. You're moving way too much. Yes, you are. Back. You're gonna have to go to the other side. Definitely bring it back. I'm just measuring the top right now. So I'm just checking to see if the tops are flat. That's all I'm doing. So we're gonna bring you guys up there. I'll show you. So this is what I'm doing. Making sure there's no gap on this level across these two posts. And there's no gap. So the depth of the hole is fine. Off. No. Stop moving it. Yes, you are. Stop. I've seen you move it 6 times. You may not see that you're moving it, but you are. I'm just leveling it right now so I can put these poles on. Alright, so this one. This one. Okay. Let's see if I can bring you guys over here. There. trying to level it so I can put the other pole on, or the other brace.
You gonna move this back? Damn it. Come on. Seriously? That freaking moved. This one chain link keeps pushing you back.
Come on. I need you to hold this. Push a little bit.
Which direction?
This way. Push. Okay. Go a little. Right. So I'm gonna get this one attached and then we'll start the concrete. Okay, that's done. I'll put this back over here. Alright, so what I did is I just put 2 braces down. So this brace right here physically holds it steady going from towards the fence or forward. And then this pole right here holds it from left to right. So, and then I was measuring it off of this level right here. So trying to get it as close in the bubble as possible to get this pole straight. And this pole is about as straight as I can get it with that pole. And then I just put that up there, that level up there, not necessarily to tell me if the tops were level, but if the tops are flat. So as long as there's no gap between the top of the pole and the actual level when I lay the level flat. So it tells me if there's a gap. If there is a gap, then it tells me I need to put some more dirt back in the hole to lift it up to lower the gap. So, and I know this section of the video is going to be a lot longer than the rest because I want to make sure that you guys see everything. So that way it's helpful for you guys, but you can see right here there's no gap between the level and here, no matter if I flip it this way or not. So there's no gap, there's no light coming through here, so it tells me this is flat compared to this. And then if I look at the level in the center, the bubble is directly in the center. So it's level there. It's not level here, but I don't expect it to be level here. I need it to be level all the way across, so the center is what you go off of. And this center bubble is perfectly level. So that's what I use that for, just to make sure that the tops are level, because if it has a little air gap, then I need to either go down or I need to go up, depending on the gap. So if the gap and the level's pointed up like this on it, then I need to go down. And if it's pointed like this and there's a gap, I need to go up. All right, so we're gonna start the concrete, and then we're gonna get to pouring in the pole, or the hole, my bad. So I'm gonna bring you guys here to the side. All right, and then I need to grab water in a jug, and what I've been doing is 1 gallon of water per bag. And just to show you guys this real quick, this is high strength concrete mix, 60-pound bag. I've been doing 1 gallon of water per one of these bags, because make sure that you guys have the exact information that I'm doing, so you don't go pick up a different bag, put 1 gallon and it's too wet. All right, so I'm just filling the 6-quart jug. Go ahead. I'm just filling this 6-quart jug to 4 quarts. This is just one of those Walmart Hyper Tough little 6-quart jugs. Just fill it to 4 quarts. I'm going to show you guys 1 or 2 bags, and then we'll bring you back when it's done. Alright, so this is just what I'm doing. This is 4 quarts, 1 gallon. If it looks like it's got too much clay, then I add more water. If it's got too much rock, then I leave it.
Definitely need more water. Huh?
Is it dry?
Yeah, it's getting there.
All right, so 1 gallon. So this has a lot of ground sand in it. It doesn't have a lot of gravel. Better. I like mine a little bit wet. And these poles are slightly wet too. That pole that you just saw me put in, that pole's got about 60% moisture still. The concrete's gonna suck the moisture out of it. My wife's gonna move the camera. Is it pointing at the hole?
Yeah, it's pointing at the hole.
Okay, there you go.
You're on the ground.
Keep moving the pole, that's why I tried to move it. Okay, we're doing the next bag. We're at 25 minutes, okay, so. This one looks like it's got a lot of powder in it.
Yeah.
These must be the old bags.
Yeah, I think so.
You guys back over. So this looks like it was the first batch of bags that we got.
It's the pile in the middle.
Hopefully the video comes out where you guys can actually see what we're doing. That's kind of hard to see on the camera. This is about 4 1/4 quarts, maybe. That. I didn't really spray much in it. He didn't spray much either. Want it slightly low.
Just hitting that edge still, but it's going up in this part.
Alright, I'm going to turn the camera off right after I show you guys the concrete in the hole. Let's see this real quick. So here's what's landing on the ground on the outside. I'm shoving it in. The little extra dirt's not going to hurt anything. It will still harden. So this is the hole right now. I'll turn this light on, maybe it'll be easier to see, guys. So it's got, looks like we have maybe two bags total left. Might be 3. We'll see when we get the other 2 bags in. We'll bring you guys back as soon as it's done. Alright everybody, so we're back. We're going to clean out the wheelbarrow and I'm going to go show you the concrete completely poured. on. Just rinsing the outside and everything. We'll go show you guys the hole in a second. Make sure I get as much concrete off of this as possible so it doesn't dry on it. So this is what it looks like after we clean it. Yeah, it is a rusty old wheelbarrow. It's a rusty old True Temper that I got from True Value back when it was a True Value. I've even ran this thing over. Take you guys over there so you guys can see the hole in the concrete. So it took 5 bags, and this one is sitting on top of the dirt, unlike that one. So the consistency that me and my wife have done is horrible. It's extremely horrible. So this one is recessed. This one's on top of the dirt. On top of the dirt. Recessed on top of the dirt. So there's 3 on top of the dirt and 2 recesses. So, you know, if the video helps, I hope it helps. Maybe you guys can do more consistency. It's not the mixing the concrete that's the issue. It's the digging and getting the hole perfectly the same size. This hole was 17 this way by 15 this way, if I remember correctly. Or 15, 16. What did I say? 15, 16. So it's 15 inches from front to the back, or back to front, however you want to look at it, from behind the pole to the front of the pole. If you're facing this chain link, it's 15. And across was 16. So this makes it look like it's a lot bigger. It's actually not. The hole is literally right here. So this is the hole right here. All of this out here is what landed on the side when we were shoveling out of the wheelbarrow. And then this is what I spread. I kind of spread it out so it wasn't so sitting right here. That's what I did. So this pole is done. It just needs to dry. I'll give you guys a last look at the vials. It's dead on from the front to the back of the fence, or from side to side of the fence. This right here tells you if it's too left or too far right, if it's leaning. And this is for the front and back. And it's pretty spot on, to be honest. So that's what these braces are for. Once you get pretty aligned, you could screw both screws in. My suggestion is put one screw in and then either lift it up or push the pole down, and that way you can pivot it off that one screw, and then when you finally have it in the position you need, put the secondary screw in. That way this pole will not move. Same with this one. Put one screw in, adjust it up and down, and then shove the other screw in. And this one just happens to be sitting and binded against the chain link right here. So it will also help this from moving left and right, this one right here, because it's stuck in this chain link. So the pole's not going to want to move because it's being bound by the wood and the chain link. On this one, however, it can move. I had to bend this pole, chain link pole, a little bit. I'm sure you guys saw it on the camera. I shoved it really hard, but when I shoved it really hard, it only moved like an inch, if that. You can see that it's pretty close to being touching the pole. And the reason I needed that is because all these poles have to be level. I don't care about the chain link. The chain link's going to be strapped to these poles, so it's not a big deal. So we have this one left. Here's the 5 bags. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I told my wife to get 6 bags out. We don't need that bag. So there's this pole left. This is exactly 4 feet from that one. And then there's this one, which this one needs to be moved because this distance right here is not 4 feet. More like 4.5, 5 feet. But that's it. Just got to throw the bags away. Looks like I got to clean the 40 volt. I got concrete all over it. 40 volt Makita. It's all right. We're using it and abusing it, which I just put a couple little short, like 1/2 inch long or 1 inch long T25 Torx wood screws here just to hang the tools. Don't need to put all these tools inside because we're only going to be doing one pole. I don't think it's necessary to record any more poles. Even though I recorded this, if my wife wants, I can put this video on her channel also, because this is technically her project, not mine. I'm just the putz doing the work.
Hey, I love you.
If you love me so much, you need to go put that bag of concrete back in there.
I will.
Do what I tell you, woman. Alright, so that is it, guys. I do hope the video is helpful. This concrete definitely likes 1 gallon. They say put 2 quarts. I don't know why they say put 2 quarts. Add approximately 2 quarts, 1.9 liters of clean water for each bag. There's no way. You wouldn't even get it out of the wheelbarrow if it was 2 quarts. It'd be stuck to the wheelbarrow. You wouldn't even get half the powder wet. Or half the clay and the sand wet. So, in my opinion, 4 quarts works perfect for each bag. So if you're getting these Quikrete high strength concrete bags that will do setting posts, sidewalks, footings, patios, steps. If you're getting these yellow black bags, I would suggest doing 1 gallon of water or 4 quarts. That is all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day. I usually leave this level on here for like 2 or 3 days. Tell me it's still level. I gotta go take all these tools inside. So the only thing you need, if you're doing 4 foot apart from the center of the pole to the center of this pole, 4 feet, all you got to do is have a 4 foot level. You know, this 47-inch Stanley level. This is a Stanley I-Beam 180. Works perfectly fine. It's a 48-inch, which is exactly 4 feet. This will help you make sure that the top is level between post and post. You can even check it this way also. See, this pole that we just set is a little bit far back because you can see there is a gap there. See that little gap? And this side has a gap. So this pole should be out a little bit further, closer to us. But all I'm concerned about is it's level on both sides. You know, I can only get it as close to the front of this as possible. It's not really a big deal because what I'm going to be doing is we're going to be putting 2x8s on the front face to lock all these poles together. So a little bit inconsistency by like 4 centimeters or so or less is not really a big deal. That gap was maybe about a centimeter and a half, 2 centimeters, so it's not really a big deal. If it needed to be moved, it needed to be standing like a little bit closer this way to the front, but it's not a big deal. It is what it is. It's actually starting to dry already, but like always, please like, comment, subscribe, smush the bell notification icon for future updates. Go check out my Amazon affiliate links, my Acme Tools affiliate links, my DJI Electronics affiliate links, as well as my Ohio Power Tools affiliate links. And hopefully I will see you guys on the next video. You want to say bye?
Bye, guys.
Alright. So that's all I got for you guys today. I'll see you guys next time. Peace!